we think they're somewhere around 50%. That might not be very helpful for investors because it's basically a flip of the coin, but it does tell you something. It does tell you that if you're highly risk averse and if you cannot tolerate volatility in your portfolio, now is not the time to be making those bets. So the average American will be impacted by U.S. recession the way most recessions tend to pan out, right? You'll see job losses that will lead to reduced consumption, that will lead to increased job losses, right? So this is the positive feedback loop that unfortunately takes place in recessions. Now, I will say this. There's always a lot of fear with recessions. Obviously, no one wants to lose their job and no one wants to see a contraction in economic activity. But recessions tend to be actually healthy and needed for an economy. The sort of issue we've had is that the last 2 recessions we've had in the United States have been shocks, exogenous shocks to the system. I'm talking about COVID, the global financial crisis. Most recessions do not look as bad as those 2 did. Although this one, I would characterize it as a fiscal shock. I would also characterize it as a fiscal shock that could potentially be reined in because it is policy induced. Policy could also make it better. So my point is that if we do go into recession, which like I said, I think at this point we peg it around 50% odds, I think it's much more likely to be a milder recession than we've seen over versus the previous 2.